Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. This is virtual class of Pakistan International School Taif. I am Muhammad Yasin. This English class is for the students of grade 5. We are going to do chapter 12 today. This is our 24th video in this class. Dear students, in our today's lesson, we shall understand the passage given in chapter 12. We shall do exercises of this chapter. We shall develop understanding of new words, the pronunciation of new words and meaning of new words. We shall do grammar exercise 24 also. Dear students, let us get familiar with new words first of all. Ability. Ability means the skill or qualities that we need to do something. That is called ability. Advance means before a particular time. Early, before a particular time. Camp is an area where people stay in tents for a short time. Cigarette. Cigarette is a thin tube of paper filled with tobacco. Composition. Composition is a short piece of writing about a particular subject. Deed is something that we do that may be good deed. Greet is to say hello to someone who has arrived in a place. Honesty is the quality of being honest. Proud is feeling very pleased about something you own or something you have done. Puppy is a young dog. Reporter is someone whose job is to discover information about news, events, and describe them on television, radio, or in a newspaper. Satisfactory means good enough. Sensible means showing the ability to make good decisions. Short, you can see a very short pair of trousers. Supper. Supper is a meal that we eat in the evening. Vest is a piece of clothing. You can see it. Dear students, some words that may require pronunciation practice, they are here. Let us make practice. The first word is thunder. Thunder. It cannot be read as tanda. Thunder. R is silent. Thunder. Warmth. Warmth. Minute. Very important it is. Minute. Minute. South. South. North. Thunder. Warmth, minute, south, north. The wrong pronunciation is given here. That is important to avoid. Dear students, the title of the lesson is The Top of the Word. This is its second part that we are going to read today. Let us start reading. They did not begin to climb the mountain immediately. They made their first camp at the foot of the mountain and put up their tents. They stayed there for 3 days while they practiced climbing. Then they started the big climb. First, they had to cross a very large piece of ice. There were dangerous cracks in it. One of the climbers Edmund Hillary with a few companions climbed over the ice while the others waited in the camp. Hillary and his companions used ladders to cross the cracks in the piece. They also cut steps in the ice with their axes. The path was then less dangerous for the others, who had to carry all the heavy things. Then they all crossed the ice and made their second camp at a height of over 5,700 meters. They continued in this way for several weeks. Each time, Major Hunt chose a small group of men for their climbing ability. He sent them on in advance of the others, who waited in the camp. The advance group found the best place for the next camp and then returned. Then they all moved on to the next camp. This is a very sensible way of climbing. Everyone worked together as a team. Each person did the work he could do best. In this way, they reached a height of 6,600 meters. Then they made a camp. Major Hunt took 4 companions and climbed as high as they could. They reached 7,800 meters and made another camp. Then Major Hunt and another man climbed to 8,205. That is 643 meters from the top. Then they had to return because they had used up nearly all the air that they were carrying, but they left some food behind. The next day, Edmund Hillary and one of the men from Nepal called Tenzing set out. They climbed to 8,370 before night came and they had to stop climbing. They ate their supper and went to sleep in their little tent on the ice. Early the next morning, on May 29th, they started out and by 11:30 a.m. they had reached the top, the highest place in the world. They felt very proud when they stood there. Then they went down to the camp where their friends greeted them joyfully. Soon the whole world knew of their deed. Mount Everest had been defeated. Men had stood on the top of the world. Dear students, we have read the whole lesson. We have got understanding of the passage. Now we shall do the exercise. This is the first exercise of this lesson. We are said to put a tick by the true sentences and a cross by the untrue ones. When they saw Mount Everest, they at once began to climb it. Was it like this? No, this is false. Their first camp was made at the bottom of the mountain. Yes, it is true. They practiced climbing for 3 days. Yes, it is true. The large piece of ice was dangerous because there were cracks in it. Yes, this is true. Edmund Hillary was a good climber. Yes, he was. Sending climbers in advance made it safer for the others to follow. Yes, it is true. When the men sent in advance found a good place to camp, they stayed there and waited for the others to arrive. No, it was not like this. They came back and then they went. Yes, students, this is the next part of the exercise. Here is written, their second camp was made at a height of almost 5,700 meters. Students, it was not at 5,700 meters. It was over 5,700. Over means height was more. That is why this will be false. Most of the climbers did not go higher than 6,600 meters. Yes, this is true. Then they made a camp. Major Hunt took 4 companions and climbed as high as they could. Only 4 people went with him. This is a true statement. 5 climbers reached 8,205 meters. Dear students, Major Hunt and another. Only one person was with him when they climbed to 8,205 meters. That is why this will be a false statement. Major Hunt reached a height of 643 meters from the top. Yes, he reached. It is mentioned. Hillary and Tenzing reached a height of 8,370 meters on May 28th. Yes, this is true. After Hillary and Tenzing reached the top of Everest, the others also climbed to the top. Dear students, no. Hillary came back in the tent in the camp and then they greeted him. All others did not go up. Yes, students, this is the next exercise. Change each sentence in 2 ways. First use not as, then use less than. Let us try to understand the exercise. A puppy is more playful than an old dog. An old dog is not as playful as a puppy. An old dog is less playful than a puppy. This is the second example. A gun is more dangerous than a knife. We shall start our answer by writing a knife. A knife is not as dangerous as a gun. A knife is less dangerous than a gun. Yes, students, part A will become the second path was not as difficult as the first path. The second path was less difficult than the first path. B will become Mary's book is not as exciting as John's book. Mary's book is less exciting than John's book. Dear students, I think you have got the idea how to do this exercise. We shall continue doing this exercise by following the same rule. For example, D would become cats and dogs are not as useful as cows and sheep. Cats and dogs are less useful than cows and sheep. Part E will be trams are not as comfortable as buses. Trams are less comfortable than buses. Yes, students. A leather bag is more expensive. A plastic bag is not as expensive as a leather bag. A plastic bag is less expensive than a leather bag. Yes, students, we shall complete G and H also by applying the same rule as we have learned before. Yes, students, I will become cleverness is not as important as honesty. Cleverness is less important than honesty. J will become smoking a pipe is not as dangerous to the health as smoking a cigarette. Smoking a pipe is less dangerous to the health than smoking a cigarette. This is K part. Peter's work was not as satisfactory as Paul's work. Peter's work was less satisfactory than Paul's work. Dear students, this is exercise 3. We are set to write each sentence in another way. Do not change the meaning. You are given the beginning of each new sentence. An old dog is not as playful as a puppy. A puppy is more playful than an old dog. Just like this, we shall complete B and C, then we shall move to D. A bicycle is less expensive than a car. A car is more expensive than a bicycle. Plastic toys are less expensive than wooden toys. Wooden toys are more expensive than plastic toys. I think the exercise is easy. You know now how to do this exercise. Let us move forward. J part is working in a library is not as noisy as working in a factory. Working in a factory is noisier than working in a library. M will become a vest is not as expensive as a shirt. A vest is less expensive than a shirt. Dear students, this is exercise 4. In this exercise, we are set to write out this passage putting in all the punctuation and capital letters. I think you are very much familiar with this type of exercise. What's the name of the highest mountain in the world? Asked Peter. We shall put this question in inverted commas and at the end there will be question mark. Our answer will become like this. What's the name of the highest mountain in the world? Here will be question mark. This full question will be in inverted commas. Asked Peter, P will be capital, at the end full stop. I don't know. This will be in inverted commas. After N there will be apostrophe. H for Helen will be capital. Do you know? This is question. First letter will be capital, at the end question mark, and the whole question will be in inverted commas. No, I don't. You can understand it very well. After no there is comma, I capital, apostrophe, comma, inverted commas closed. P for Peter is capital. Let's ask Miss Ali. Miss Ali, M capital, A capital. Dear students, you can understand it very well. This is exercise 5. In this we are said these sentences are in the wrong order. Put them in the right order. Boys, the method is first of all read all the sentences, then try to arrange them. Did you reach the top? Their friends asked. The climbers reached the top of the mountain. Yes, we did, they said. Then they climbed down again. They stuck a flag in the snow in the highest place. First sentence will be the climbers reached the top. Second will be they stuck a flag. Third will be then they climbed down. Fourth will be did you reach the top? Their friends asked. Last one will be yes, we did. This is next part. Next exercise, we are set to rewrite each sentence using less. Do not change the meaning. My book is more interesting than yours is. Your book is less interesting than mine is. We can leave this is. Here it is written. Please note that in every case the verb am, is or was may be included at the end of the sentence or omitted. We can leave it also. She was more polite than he was. He was less polite than she was. Yes, students, we shall complete these parts. Then we shall move to part number 5. For example, your dog is more playful than mine is. My dog is less playful than yours is. Yes, students, I am more forgetful than she is. She is less forgetful than I am. We shall complete this exercise. Number 9 will be traveling by air is more expensive than traveling by sea. Traveling by sea is less expensive than traveling by air. The same rule will be applied to all sentences to complete this exercise. Dear students, this is the next workbook page. Choose the best answer. There is a lot of sand on the beach. There are a great many cars in Peshawar. They watched the bus arrive. When the cyclone came, we felt the building shake. After school, we used to play football. When I was small, I used to play with toys. Have you ever heard that bell ring? Yes, students. This exercise is over. This is grammar now. We shall start chapter 13. There are pronouns. They can be of two types, personal and reflexive. You know that there are three types of personal pronouns. We are going to study personal pronoun and reflexive pronoun. Only personal can be of three types: first person, second person, third person. Examples are given here. Personal pronoun may have different numbers, genders and cases. First person, masculine and feminine gender. Masculine male, feminine female. Nominative case can be I, we. Possessive case can be my, mine, our, ours. Objective case can be me, us. Second person, masculine or feminine gender. Nominative case can be you. Possessive case can be your, yours. Objective case can be you. Third person, singular, plural. Nominative case can be he, she, it. Possessive case can be his, her, hers, its, theirs. Objective case can be him, her, it, them. Dear students, look at the following sentences. These are reflexive pronouns. Jamil washes, Jamil. Do we say like this? No, we don't say like this. Yasmin raised Yasmin from the bed. You notice that the italicized words Jamil in sentence 1 and Yasmin in sentence 2 do not look proper. If Jamil in sentence 1 is the same Jamil that is at the beginning of the sentence, it should have a third person singular masculine gender pronoun in the objective case. That is him, but because the subject and object of washes are the same person Jamil, the pronoun should be himself. Pronouns that have self added to them are called reflexive pronoun. The following are the forms of reflexive pronoun in English. Myself is singular, ourselves is plural. Yourself is singular, yourselves is plural. Himself, herself, itself are singular. Themselves is plural. Dear students, illustration is here. Personal pronoun is he washes him. He washes him. This him is personal pronoun. If we write here he washes himself, this will be reflexive pronoun. Yes, students, this is the exercise of pronouns, this chapter which we were reading just now. Let us look at the exercise. We are set to select the personal and reflexive pronouns in the following sentences. We are set to select only, but we shall try to find out which one is personal and which one is reflexive. The clowns paint themselves. This themselves is written in bold, that is selected. What type of pronoun is this? Is this personal or reflexive? This is reflexive pronoun. That is correct. Munir cut himself. What type of pronoun is this? Himself. We have learned if there is written self, it will be reflexive. That is why self is reflexive pronoun. He cuts. He. What is this he? He is pronoun. What type of pronoun is this? This is personal pronoun because reflexive pronoun has self at the end. Okay, next part is the girl washes herself. Yes, self is at the end of this pronoun. This will be reflexive pronoun. Part number 5 is Aisha bought the books for her sister. It is not herself here. Here is written her sister. What will be this her? This will be personal pronoun, not reflexive pronoun. Part number 6 is, they came last night and cooked food for themselves. Yes, themselves is a reflexive pronoun. Let us move forward. Part number 7 is, I prepared soup for him and toast for myself. Dear students, this him is written in bold. This him is a personal pronoun and myself is a reflexive pronoun. Rita is in hospital. She fell from. This she is written in bold. This is selected. What type of pronoun is this? This is personal pronoun. Fell from the balcony. She could. This she is again personal pronoun. She could not balance herself. This herself is selected. This is reflexive pronoun. Next part is, Amina washed herself. What type of pronoun is this herself? There is a self at the end. Therefore, this will be reflexive pronoun. Amina washed herself, then went to the kitchen and made tea for herself. This herself again is reflexive pronoun. We prepared. What is this we? Personal pronoun. We prepared dinner, ate it, and lay ourselves. Ourselves is reflexive pronoun. On the floor cushions. Yes, students, we have completed this exercise. This is your homework. In your homework, you will read the passage given in chapter 12. Then you will do all exercises in your notebook, including workbook and grammar, which are done in today's lesson. Dear students, that is all from our today's lesson. See you later in a new video, new lesson. Goodbye.